911, what's your emergency?
The following content is graphic, emotional, and includes dark humor that may not be suitable for all listeners. Discretion is advised. These stories are based on real-life EMS, military, and healthcare experiences. Calls are real, providers are real, names and details have been changed to protect privacy. They may be disturbing to some and are definitely inappropriate for HR department. Any medical or mental health discussion is personal experience, not protocol. Use your damn brain. Follow your local guidelines, and when in doubt, call med control. If you're struggling, don't do it alone. Talk to someone, a coworker, a friend, a therapist, or hell, reach out to me. I'll answer. Need help right now? Text or call 988 or visit 988lifeline.org. Come on, there it goes. All right, this is Dispatch Dysfunctional, where we don't just talk about the calls, we talk about what they turn you into. Yeah. Today's episode is a little bit different. Not one single wild call, not you won't believe this shit moments. This one's a little bit quieter, but if you've been on the job long enough, it might hit you harder than any trauma ever has. So today I've got Sammi with me today. She's a paramedic. She's a paramedic on the city fire department, a mentor, a teacher, a wife, a dog mom. But more than that, she's someone who's lived through what this job does to you over time. Sammi, I'm going to let you take this away. Who are you, and what do you want people to hear today?
Hi, I'm Sammi. Honestly, just whatever you feel like asking me today. I'm pretty much an open book. I've been pretty open about my experience in EMS with a lot of people, especially my students, and just something that they can learn from and kind of gather that while they move forward with their career.
Well said. So let's see. And that's pretty much like you said in your intake. That's what we're here for. This is the whole damn episode. So no one says a lot of stuff we say, out loud. We either pretend it, we love it, or we leave it.
Mm-hmm.
There's middle ground that nobody really talks about, and that's where a lot of us live at. So let's go back a little bit before EMS for you. Who were you?
So before EMS, I was originally going to go to nursing school. So I was geared up for nursing. I was in college on a dance scholarship. I was a lifeguard at one point, and then right, yeah, so crazy. And then after college, I got my CNA license because I was still kind of gearing up towards nursing, and then I got deferred from that. And then they were like, "Hey, we have like an EMT spot open. Like, would you be interested?" And I was like, "Sure. Like, why not? Let's kind of like see what where it goes." Got on there. At first, I thought it was kind of a joke. I don't even know what I expected really. Um, I think it was
I think
just
that's
a bunch
everybody,
of
man.
us. Yeah, like I didn't know anybody in the class. And then we're all like different ages. You had like people that were in their like 40s, 50s, and then you had someone like me, like 18 to like 20 years old, and we're all just like, what do we do here? And I think I did my first clinical, and my preceptor was one of my high school friends' dad. And that first ride out, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this so much. I'm in the back of a little ambulance in like downtown of like the city of Gulfport. And I'm just living my best little life on night shift. And I was like, yeah, no, I think I like this. Like, I'm going to see where it takes me.
I got you. That makes sense. So, on that note, did you know he was a firefighter or a paramedic, or?
No, so my friend, like, I knew his dad did something kind of like public safety type thing, but I didn't know that he was a paramedic until when I got to the clinical. They were kind of asking about me, like where I'm from, things of that nature. And I was like, oh, like I went to this high school, graduated this. And they were like, oh, do you know my son? And I was like, oh my gosh, I do know your son. Like, that's so crazy. Found out that his dad does not like mucus throw up. Found that out very quickly. Does not do well with that.
Okay, that's common. I can't say I like the mucus throw up either, but if that's your thing, go with it. But anyway, um, so on your form, you wrote something a little bit interesting, and I kind of want to bring it up. Is when did you realize I'm not that person anymore? What moment was that, or did it just slowly creep into you?
So I think So I was like one of the last few people to like get my EMT. I'm a terrible test taker. And when I got my first job, this service actually did bodies. So what that means is they picked up dead people.
Yep.
And, you know, that was not common to me when I was going through this. They never told me anything that was going to do that. And so I was probably about maybe 3-ish months in to my EMT journey, and like we were on this call, and it's like the week of Thanksgiving, and it was like we were literally just there to pick up the body. It wasn't like I saw anything crazy, and I'm just like, wow, we have to like see this because everything up till that wasn't traumatic. Nothing like I'd never seen a trauma, never really seen anything crazy other than, you know, just normal death. You just pass away in your sleep, you have a cardiac arrest, nothing super crazy until that point.
Right.
And then I'm going to the holidays with all my family, and the only person that understands is my grandmother. She was an ER nurse for forever, forever, forever. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, man, all of y'all are sitting here eating food, and I'm over here still thinking about homegirl on the side of the interstate, and y'all just y'all ain't thinking about anything crazy. It's just me. And then like through that, I realized that like I didn't have anything really more in common with all of my friends. And I started like getting more in tune with people that worked with me versus people outside of work completely.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny. That's what EMS does to us in the end.
Yeah.
Is
It's like a
it's
cult.
it really is, and it's interesting, but at the same time, it's humbling to know that we have people that we can depend on and we can speak to, and they have some of the same traumas that we have, some of the same issues of. I mean, hell, every time we have Thanksgiving, I always have weird thoughts because of some of the calls I've ran. But
Mm-hmm.
it's one of them things that, like you said, your family either gets it or they don't. Thank
Mm-hmm.
God I'm married to a woman that laughs at all the crap I bring home and joke about, but and my kids are interested in it. But it is what it is, and we don't really. I don't know. Maybe it's my perspective on it, but I don't think we really have many friends outside of EMS once we get into EMS.
Mm-mm. I think I have like one friend that has nothing to do with first responders. She's an esthetician. And then all of my other friends, they're either a dispatcher, a firefighter, police officer, or paramedic, or like EMT, like anything EMS related. And then that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, and like you said, it's kind of weird trying to talk to those friends that aren't near the first response family. It's
Hmm.
what do you do for a living? Well, you really don't want to know.
Yeah, it's just like they're like, "How's work?" And I'm like, "That's work." Like no one's trying to kill me today.
Keyword today. And that's, I guess, like you said, a lot of people outside don't realize it is. It's not one bad call that changes. It's not one bad shift. It's a
Mhm.
slow change in us that we don't notice in our day to day lives. It's we we look up and go one day, damn, I didn't react to things like I should have.
Mhm.
Like when my dad passed, I kind of feel like an asshole, but I didn't cry. I didn't
Mm.
really mourn because I'm so used to death, I guess.
Yeah, that's I
Or as my
so
wife just said, we react different.
my so my husband, he got into a car accident last year, and he was just like, you weren't mean, but you weren't my wife. You were definitely a paramedic. Like he said that you had your moments of like being super sweet, super caring, but like you were definitely like such a caretaker, like more so than anything. And I was like, I don't know, man. Things got done miraculously, so beggars can be choosers right now. It was a coping thing.
Yep. And funny thing, it just so everyone knows, my wife's in the background laughing her ass off right now when she said that. But anyways, because that's happened to me a few times as well. She's
Yeah.
like, "You're a horrible paramedic." No, I'm a good paramedic. I'm just trying to do what I got to do at home.
Hmm. It's like it's like a default mechanism. Like you don't know when you do it. It just kind of does it itself. So like it's never that you actually turn it off. It's just dialed back just a smidge.
Yep. Exactly. And then when
Mm.
something happens, it gets dialed
It's
back
like
just like that.
it's there. Yeah. So no, I
Yep.
completely get it.
And then one more thing that you said on your intake form that stuck with me is you would change the leadership in EMS, not the protocols, not the pay, not the equipment, but leadership. Why is that?
So I think, and I've only worked at really and truly two companies my entire career. This is my third like company or like department that I've ever worked at. But I think if you have really, really good leadership, everything else after that can be really and truly resolved. Like my protocols, I'm going to do what needs to be best for the patient. The equipment, I can MacGyver shit. I'm cool with it. I don't need the new monitor. I can manually do shit. I'm a-okay with that, right? But when you have somebody that promotes, and again, this is my opinion, I've never been in leadership, I'm working on it, but you have somebody that promotes and they don't have the people's best interest at heart and it's just them, it shows. It shows like in the way people's professionalism is. It shows like in the morale of the company. Like
Yep.
one of the services,
Camaraderie.
yes. Um, we had, so when I first started out at my like second service, well, technically I guess I've been at four. I really just don't count the first one with the bodies. It was just traumatic, so we just scratch it, right?
That
But
works.
that yeah, but like the service that really like honed me in to like grow from EMT to paramedic, I watched four different people go like be in charge over my like
Yep.
5 years at that service, right? So the first one, he was okay. I mean, like the morale was still like a family morale type of thing. The second one didn't last but like a week. We don't know what happened to them. The third one, super phenomenal medic, phenomenal like flight medic, phenomenal nurse, like great leader. Had a shitty thing go on, had to go, type thing. But I think at that point when he was like our overall like general manager, however you want to call them, when they're in the corporate type of
Right.
thing, that was probably the best I saw the company. Like we were getting education, we were kind of like progressing in better ways. He was coming around to different stations, coming around like when we're at the hospital, it was like, hey, do you need anything? Like, what can we do? Like, is there anything that we can do better? Like, is the hospital treating you well? Like, it was just so much of what can I do to make your life easier. The one that we have now was a supervisor at the time when this one was our GM, and then when he had to like step down and go out, he stepped in. And he hasn't been a terrible leader. It's just I think he lost his way of remembering what it's like to be one of us. And once you like lose that like little thing, just like I say, once you lose your empathy for the field or like lose your interest in learning, you got to go. So I think the same with leadership.
100%.
And so it's not that he's done bad, but he hasn't done anything fantastic. You can give me blood. You can give me RSI as a medic. Treats me how to fucking cry for all I care. But like, if you can't like make me happy at this company to want to be in this uniform anymore, then like I've lost all respect. I don't care about the protocols anymore. So I think it's just one of those things. Like the service where I'm at now, it's not terrible. The leadership is so young, so young. Like I think everybody's like maybe 40s and below, which is crazy to think about at a fire department. They're super young, but they're trying. They're trying to like get better. They're wanting to know what to do, like how to be better. And so that one, I kind of appreciate that they want us to be better. Like they're not saying, well, you got to go do this, and this, and blah, 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 blah. And they never
Yeah.
like fulfill anything on their end. But like they're making sure that right now, the MS side is lacking. We'll say that. But the fire side, they have so much going for them. And I'm super proud of that because they're showing that they care. And now EMS is slowly starting to build back up. Like we're getting auto pulses, Zols. They're asking our opinions in the field. Hey, do we like this jump bag? Like, what can we do better for our drug box? Because we have one of those big orange like tackle boxes where you can smack somebody. Like, it takes a
The old
good
school
shot
ones.
with it. Yeah. So they're asking like our opinions to want to be better and want us to like perform better. So they're trying to give us more education to push, and I respect that rather than just saying, I don't care. Because you can pay me as much as you want, doesn't mean I'll be happy.
No, that's what it is.
No, I know.
She wants someone that actually cares about the company and actually cares about the employee versus someone, hey, you're doing a good job. Here's a goddamn pizza party.
That part.
Sorry, that's my wife in the background.
I'm telling you that part. Because when I did a semester in nursing school and I was like,
Yeah, I agree.
I swear to God, y'all give me pizza, I'm gonna riot in this place. Like, do not give me pizza. Like, don't give me subpar shit. Like, I don't want it.
Well, my question on that whole pizza thing is, I want to know how that became a thing. How did they think that is going to make us happy? How is that a?
I genuinely think
How is that a fucking promotional tool?
So hear me out. I did. Have you ever heard of the University of Florida's like critical care program?
I actually want to go to that.
It's phenomenal. I finished it last spring. Phenomenal program. So what's so crazy is that you get to do these ICU rotations. So just like your wife said, pizza party, right? So one of the good docs on the ICU floor said, "I'm gonna buy y'all pizza," and they're all fucking happy because the doctor's doing it, not the fucking management. It's because the
not the
doctor's
CEO, not the manager.
Yeah, like they're treating you like to good pizza, like one of the good like high quality pizza, but not Pizza Hut, not Papa John's. No,
not fucking.
It's the little Dutch, like the little ovens that they got up there, the brick ovens pizza. Yeah.
Oh damn.
So he spent some money because like he valued his people, but like you can't sit there and like give subpar stuff and expect here's your 6 patients that you can't take for, and then man, you don't need no hazard pay, you don't need any of that. Here's your pizza. I'm giving you pizza because you looked happy when the doc gave you pizza. That's probably what it happened.
Probably. I bet that would have been something like, maybe a med control doc's like, hey, here's some pizza for the crew, and manager's like, oh, that's a good idea. It's cheap, Little Caesars. That's not the point, fuckers.
Weird. Swear to God, I would riot if you gave me some cardboard pizza.
Well, that's pretty much every service I've worked at. I'm like, really? This is bullshit.
Now they at least give us some burgers on occasion. Ugh.
Jesus Christ.
What'd she say?
Every good.
She said burgers. Yes, burgers, not pizza.
Yeah.
Every good managers are like, hey, I know you're tired and exhausted, but here's a pizza. I'm like, I'm tired of pizza.
Coffee. Like, at least buy me some coffee, like some Seven Burgers, some Dunkin', and I'm like solid. Or sponsor my Alani addiction. One of the two's got to give.
Pretty much.
Pizza.
So this kind of goes back to what we're just talking about is the culture. You also said that, you would change the culture. So what part of EMS culture do you think is broken?
Dude, all of it. God. I think I was talking, I was talking with Sophie Fuller when we were at the Georgia EMS conference, like the Metro Atlanta one. And we were kind of talking about like a little bit of the culture and the way things you can't be young and progress. The old doesn't like the new. And so you have like this battle back and forth between the two, and you're just like, bro, because the old, they never want anything new. They want to tell you, well, back in my day, I don't give a fuck, actually. Excuse my French. I actually don't care.
No, you're good. I agree.
Like, I don't care. We can see how long it's been since you've even stepped into a conference, any type of teaching moment, anything of that nature. Congratulations, you can tell me where the femoral is, but I don't care. Yeah, like, I think it really and truly comes with, like, the old heads. It's, I don't want to say it's, like, a sexist thing, but you also, you have more females coming into a boys' club, but you also have, like, some females that are really shitty, and that's a whole nother topic. But you have all this, like, culture that is just such, like, heavy-minded of just being depressed all the time and burying it so deep. And now you have us, like the younger generation, coming in, and you're like, okay, like, we want better mental health. Like, we want to actually talk about mental health a little bit more. We want more positivity. Like, why are you so negative to be here? Like, I understand. Same shit, different day. I get it. I was a little negative when I first started out with my partner. But now that I'm away from all that, I'm like, it's a call. It's not my emergency. It's theirs. I'm going to at least get them there better than I found them. Like, where do you want to go today? I'm happy to take you. I just gotta let you know a couple
Right.
things. Let's go. Come on. It takes longer for me to like get a refusal than it does transporting, but I digress. But I generally think it comes from the old head mentality that rubs off on our younger generation, and you can see it more prominent in the fire department from the old heads talking to like the younger ones, and they're like, well, we don't do it like this. You don't need to talk about your feelings. That's not what this table is for. Like, they don't have conversations, and you can see it. And on the EMS side, you get a salty old medic that chain smokes every 5 seconds with his coffee sitting in his hand. And the EMT is like, I got a question. He's like, I don't care. Figure it out. But then
Shut
gets
the fuck
mad
up.
at that same EMT that can't do what needs to be done because they didn't learn it in school, because that's what the job is for, is to teach.
Right.
So I think it just comes from trying to pivot other people's mindset to be more of a positive learning environment, because you are never going to learn everything. You can't learn everything. And the fact that you sit there and act like your knowledge is just supposed to magically appear into their like little brains just sucks. And always hating your job. If you hate it so much, there's the door.
Leave.
You can, Bucky's is hiring, McDonald's is hiring, Walmart greeters are hiring. You can go take as many smoke breaks as you want.
Yep.
But like,
And
you
that
can
and
sit
that's
there
that's the
and
sad
eat
thing
your
is, and that's the sad thing, like you said, is the older generation is, suck it up, buttercup,
mm,
shut the fuck up, sit back,
mm,
do as I say, not as I do.
mm-hmm,
And I came from I I came from an offshore, or I worked for a private company, then I worked for a government entity, and then I went offshore.
mm,
Offshore, compared to now in an industrial site, is completely different, but the same, because now I work for a fire department,
mm,
and it's quite, like you said, the difference in the old people compared to the new people is working part time at some of the private ambulances. I've even told people, I was like, I'm never going back to private EMS again. These
oh,
paragods are pissing me the fuck off, because just because you can do this,
mm,
I've done worse and better. So shut the fuck up and listen to what I'm trying to explain to you and teach you. You like you said, you don't know everything. I
mm,
definitely don't know everything, but I can try to teach people some more stuff that they don't know. You
yeah,
know, and that kind of falls back to that whole thing you just said. Like on my shift that I work, every one of the guys I work with have been phenomenal. I've never been a fire person. I've never tried anything fire, and now they're getting me in my gear. They're getting me to go do freaking consumption courses. They're having me work out with them. So I'm actually one of the guys with them. And if I'm on another shift, it's not the same. It's like I'm
yeah.
a complete different person, and I don't quite understand why or how that works. But I heard that's common.
It is. So being at this department, so I'm on C shift, right? That's like the best shift. And, my LT will give us any and everything that we need to be better. Like, I'm the highest level of care on like my shift at my station. But he's like, let's learn a little bit of EMS today, like teach us a little something. He was like, we want to learn a little something, and then in return they'll teach me a little bit more about fire, because I do have like my little volunteer cert that doesn't really count but counts.
Right.
And so like we'll kind of like trade info. But then A shift's a little different. They're not bad. They still like to train depending on where you're at, depending on what station and who's on. And then
Ah.
B shift at my station, they don't do shit. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. But like, you can't sit there and talk crap about everybody else if you ain't doing nothing either. You're not learning anything. You're just sitting there. You're sitting there collecting a check, collecting dust in a chair. And I don't need you for that. I
Yeah.
don't need you as a firefighter for that. I don't need you as a provider for that either. Like, I can't. I'm a doer. I like to do. I like to move. I have my lazy moments, but I just don't understand that mentality of wanting to be so lazy in an aspect, especially in such a demanding job, like in a demanding role. Because being like being a firefighter, you do need to be like physically fit for certain things. Like, it is a lot of endurance. That's what it is. It's not really about being so strong. It's about endurance. And then like EMS, you have to be so like mentally prepared for everything. The worst case scenario, you have to like go through all of like your little Rolodex cards in your brain and be like, okay, which one is it today for like this difficulty breathing? Oh, and we got to pivot to this, and then we got to do that. And so, not wanting to better yourself in any aspect just baffles me. Baffles me. I feel like all shifts should have the same mindset. I don't care how you do it. I just feel like you should want to be more than what you are or what you started out with.
I agree. You should always try to better yourself. You should always try to be more, even if it's just learning more of the professional side of even
Yeah,
public speaking or whatever. Like you said, I want to go to that University of Florida critical care course.
you
I've taken
honestly,
so many prep courses and
you would love
failed
it.
them, or not failed them, but I can't grasp it. I have to have my hands physically touching it.
I will say
And
that course is hard. So like most of our paramedic knowledge starts probably right here, and the way Derek teaches is like up here. Like you're learning like in depth molecular, and I'm like, hold on, big dog, you used a big word there. Let me go Google that. But after that course, it does not matter if you pass or fail. You will learn so much from that course. So much. You will have so many tools to like
and
go off of, and like you get to network with all of these people in your class. They're from all over the world, by the way. Like they're from Cuba to Canada to like across the sea in the Middle East. Like you have people everywhere in that class with you.
that's a interesting
Yeah,
concept right there.
yeah.
I've worked with international people before, and it's that's something that was interesting for me offshore. Is I actually learned, here in the States we are different
Mhm.
than every other country.
Yeah,
Mexico,
we're
I found out is the worst for medics.
mhm. Mhm.
Um, Europe has a bachelor's degree to be able to become a paramedic.
Yeah, you have to do nursing and paramedic. So it's like a 4 year degree. So it's like the first two
Yep,
is like nursing or they flop it. Just depends on like when you start. It's really
it was
cool.
interesting to learn that though. It's
But
cool and it's a good idea
yeah,
in
but we
theory.
have more autonomy here though.
Yep,
Hmm.
exactly. That's
And
where I was
that's
going
what,
to go with that. Is
yeah, like everybody gets so confused. They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, like we only call when it like is a little sketch that we're about to do something kind of crazy. And it also depends on what med control doc you're about to call too.
Yeah, that like I tell everybody, that's what I mainly miss offshore is my autonomy out there was
Mhm.
you ain't dying, cool, I'll take care of you real quick. Let me call Doc. You are dying, cool, let me fix your ass and let me call Doc, tell him you're going on a helicopter back to shore. And I've had to cath people offshore, I've had to do sutures, I've had to do resets, I've had to do all kinds of crap that we don't get to do on the truck.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see how some things can be escalated and properly taught. And like you said, just learning it
Hmm.
was awesome because every Friday at that company I was working at, we would have a weekly meeting with the topside doctor that he would critique our calls, critique our work, let us know, hey, this is what you're doing right, this is what you're doing wrong, let's work on this, let's fix this. And it was really cool because I was on a first name basis with them, and I could call him like, hey man, this is what I got, this is what I recommend, and he'd be like, well, so we wrote antibiotic scripts out
Hmm.
there.
Hmm.
So a couple times I was wanting to do azithromycin or Cipro, and he's like, no, let's do augmentin, let's do
Hmm.
all kinds of this other stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a good idea. Why, doc? And he would explain it to the pathological
Yeah, because
ways, and I was
some
like,
of them
okay,
are,
I love that.
yeah,
Yep,
that go ahead and start remembering those. UF loves those antibiotics. They love the chart.
yep,
Nah, that sounds so cool.
yeah.
I always wanted to do like offshore, but I just don't know like if I could be on a little metal rod for like so long.
Well, so I worked on drill ships a lot, and those held anywhere from my minimum was about 50, and then I had one vessel that had, I think it was about 450.
Jeez.
So,
Ugh.
and it was on the 451, it was me and another medic. We swapped, it was day and nights
Mhm.
for 28 days, and 14 days he was on days, 14 days I was on days. So
Okay.
we flip flopped, and it was pretty cool. But that was the only time I ever had another medic out there with me, was that one vessel, and
Mm.
yeah. But anyway,
Mm.
like I was in the middle of the Atlantic at one point, to where a guy decided to put his head inside of an incinerator.
N-
Not a very good idea.
Well, I don't think he
You're
had any
flying
brain cells after that. So,
Yeah, he said it was an accident. I call bullshit. But anyway,
mm, I feel like there was other ways to do that, but pop off.
yeah. Well, like I told him, I was like, you know, you're 5 days away from a boat getting to us, and there's no way a helicopter in hell's getting to us. So you're fucked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to bring back what you said a minute ago: is it's okay to hate your job that you love.
It is.
That's not something people usually say out loud. So what does that actually feel like to you, or what does that mean to you?
I mean, it's okay to hate it. Like, you're never gonna have the most perfectest day. You know how like they say if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Sometimes that can be a little shit. It can. You have bad days. You're gonna have bad days, and that is okay. It's okay to hate it for like that moment in time, but like, okay, tomorrow's a new day. Let's get up. Let's start anew. We're back to loving it again. Like there are days when you're like really, really sick and you're like, oh, I hate that these people are calling me for absolute shit. I feel like horse shit. I'm running a fever. I'm literally throwing up in their yard. Like, I want to go home, but I need to get paid. So it's okay. It's okay to hate it, and it's okay to like. It's also okay to quit your job that you genuinely just don't want to be there anymore. It's okay to quit and start somewhere new. Like you don't have to only have that one job forever. You can go somewhere else. I think a
Very
lot of
true.
people too get so like hung up on having to stay at a service and be so loyal. Listen, I I'm an AMR, like I'm in rehab for AMR, right? Like that place has caused a lot of trauma, and I will probably die somehow still working for fucking AMR. Don't know how, don't know where, but I just know it will happen. But like
Sounds about right.
it's okay to leave it. Like I finally just left after almost 6 years now being there, and it was scary. It was scary to like leave everything behind, all my friends, everything that I knew, just to start somewhere fresh. But like I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It wasn't giving me any more to give. Would I go back? Meh. If they offered me the right position and training, for sure.
Oh yeah.
But
And then,
but I mean, yeah, it's okay to hate it, but still love your job. It is genuinely okay to do. Just don't hate it to the point to where you were so miserable going in that like you can't find that love or passion anymore.
true. And it's like you just said, is if there's not enough room for your own even mental growth or professional growth, it's time to move on. It's time to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let yourself struggle. You can't let yourself mentally become fatigued as a provider. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help your patients, and it definitely don't help your coworkers.
Nope.
And that's one thing that we all do have bad days, but if you have bad and good days, that's good. You know, but if you're always having bad days, take a look. Make sure it's
Mm-hmm.
not you. Make sure it's not what you're around. If it's the company you're at, find somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. They're
Yeah.
always hiring for us. We're never going to be out of a job.
Yep. So there's people listening, or are going to listen after I send this out. So there's people who are going to be listening to it, who are sitting in the truck, station recliner, thinking, I don't know if I can keep doing this, but they're still showing up. What would you want to say to them?
Find your why. I think that was probably the biggest thing that my paramedic teacher ever asked us. Um, what is your why? Like, why are you here? Mine was I wanted not. Everybody's like, I want to save a life. No, no, no. Mine was not that. Mine was I want to make a difference. I don't whether it be listening to a patient, for a patient to feel heard, whether it's for a student to feel like they finally found their niche, or like just me finding my like way into like a little home. Like, I love EMS so, so much, to the point to where I'm just like, man, anything else of like getting out of this field just sounds terrible. It just sounds like a terrible idea, because I've fallen in love with pre-hospital care. I adore it so much. But my why is because I also want people to be better than me. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have like any type of person to help me navigate through this. My first year as an EMT was absolute garbage. So find your why. Figure out, like, do you want to progress in this? Find a mentor. Find a partner that will help you in any way. They don't have to be a mentor. They can just be a friend. But make sure you know why you're doing this, and it can't just to be to help people, because everybody wants to help somebody in whatever job they're in. Like, do you want to be better at something? Do you want to be better for yourself? Like, is this something for you to self improve on? Because it is very fulfilling in this field. There are plenty of jobs to help you feel fulfilled, but you can't just be like, I just want to save a life. We aren't there to save a life, unfortunately. Hot take. But you are there to give that patient and or person the best possible outcome that they could have with every tool that you can give them. It is up to them, and whatever you believe higher up, if they are gonna like choose to do it or not, choose to live and or die. So
Very
my
well.
answer is always find your why.
I love that. That's very well put, and it makes a lot of sense as well. Yeah, I didn't realize, like you said, when I first got into it, I was the same way. I was like, I had a very shitty first few years actually,
Mm-hmm.
but and then I pretty much have the same. As I want to be able to make a difference in someone's life. It's not to save them;
Mm-hmm.
it is to make a difference and to show them that there are still people out there willing to help others. There are still
Mm-hmm.
people that don't give a shit what they get in return to help you.
Nope.
You
I
know,
think
and that's
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you're fine, you're fine, go ahead. It like cuts, I
I
was like,
forgot
oh,
my
he's
thought.
good. I'm sorry.
Find a why. Find why you still do the job, and also find an outlet. Because you can't always live with a job, because you also have to find a way to also have a life.
Yeah, true.
that
Any
that
medical field, any EMS, any paramedic, you can live your job. You can do your job over and over and over.
Mhm.
You still need to remember why you do the job, but you also need to realize, hey, once I get out of that job, I also have a life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
Like,
something that she just brought up. I was going to say too is we
yeah.
all live in this job, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't need to.
No,
Uh, we don't need to let the jobs kill us.
I think what I think the best thing that my husband and I, because he's also a firefighter paramedic and he's in the military, what we have found has started to work best for us, because last year was just a whirlwind really for us, with like me in school and then like his wreck, and then trying to like find, okay, like, is he going to be able to go back to work and things of that nature. So this year we're taking 2 trips. We're going on vacation. We're gonna go hiking. My goal is to hit all the national parks by like our 5th wedding anniversary. And I'm gonna make it happen, damn it. I'm gonna make it happen. But
Hell yeah.
we go out hiking. Like my hobby, while if he picks up overtime or something of that nature, I'm trying to go to Pilates, trying to like get out, do a little bit more, do something normal. And like when we're together, we go hiking. Like he's about to start going fishing and rock climbing, and something with a mountain biking. Nope, can't do that one. So he's got to find a friend for that. But like we're trying to find like hobbies outside of the job, because we have just buried ourselves like so hard in it, that we're trying to find what we like outside of it, and then like what we like doing together outside of it, to kind of like keep our marriage alive, because divorce rates are so prevalent in this field. And it's just because like we're married to our work. We're married, like our spouse comes second. And it's not like meaning, at least in my opinion, it's not meaning. I know people cheat, but that's their own beef. They got something else wrong with them.
Yep.
But But like my thing is like I'm married. I really am married to my work. It's because I love it. But like your wife was saying, you got to find something else out of it, and that's what we have tried to do. Like this whole year, like what we're trying to like figure out is what do we like to do outside of this job, because we need to find something else. If not, our marriage maybe I don't think our marriage will fail, but it's generally we can't just have this. We have to have something else in between. So I think that's what a lot of other people need to like realize too is who are you outside of the job? Are you a good spouse outside of the job? Things of that nature. You need to kind of have self reflection because yeah, the job will be there, but that job will replace you in a hot minute.
Oh yeah, we're
So
just a number.
you're yeah, like you're supposed to like your spouse is supposed to be like your one and only person and things. And that turd is my bestie, so I'm gonna keep him as long as I can. So that's my
So
little rant.
I got you. You good? Have you ever wanted to walk away from the job? Is a better question.
Honestly, yeah. I was in advanced, so I was just finishing medic, and I had, and honestly, I say this to this man's face, so I don't really care. I had probably the worst supervisor. I mean, he's cool and everything. Worst supervisor, worst advocate for anybody. Like, not a fan. We also had a couple EMRs work that somehow got grandfathered in. I don't want to agree with an EMR type of thing. That's another thing for another day. However, I ran me and this other truck. We both got off at 6:30. I had class, so I had to be at class at I think at 9. We had to be class at 9. If you're late, you had to text your instructor. All the things. So and then you get like points deducted because you don't get like your 100 for your being there on time type thing.
Right.
And I ran a trauma on the state line, and I had no like ALS. So they said, "Hey, your car has been flipped 3 times, and 2 are ejected." And then you also have one with
Yeah.
possible hazardous material that's flipped over with a patient inside of that. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, haha, you're lying, right? You're lying to me. It's me, and my partner is also an EMR, but she technically should be an EMT right now, but she is probably one of the better EMRs, I will say. But again, I still think that you should have tested. However, I get it. But this one specific EMR didn't tell her paramedic partner that they had a call, and that call was to come back me up on the interstate of the state line. So she calls the said supervisor, said something about her kids, and granted, I totally understand if your kid is sick, they are dying, something is happening. But childcare,
Mm.
nah, I'm a little finicky. I'm a little finicky. If you're just saying childcare so you can go get them, not because something really is important happening. No, no, no. Miss me with that one. You have a job. You knew what your job entailed. Do your job. So this EMR decides to call the supervisor and says, "Oh my God, my kid, I have to go pick up my kid." Your kid's like 5 minutes away. Like your shift change wouldn't have been like you maybe would have gotten off like 45 minutes late had you came to this call, took them to the trauma center and got back. 45 minutes, really 45 minutes ish. So I had, I'm so thankful. I was a little annoyed, but so thankful that 2 paramedics that previously worked for the company that worked over the state lines were on their way to work and helped me package 2 patients to fly out. I landed 2 helos by myself. I did my first like conscious IO.
Oh
That
damn.
that was fun to document because they were because I had to like restrain them because they both had head injuries. One of them I was pretty positive he had a shattered pelvis. The other one I knew his femur was messed up because it was swelling, like you could see it, like it was it was so,
Obvious.
it was so obvious. And I didn't have any other names, so I had to get trauma names for him. And I was so mad. I was so mad because I needed help. That was out of all the times I've really, I'm not saying I'm super smart and like I don't need help and all the things, but as an advance, I really felt like I was taught to be so solid because I had good partners to teach me how to be such a solid advanced. So there was never really anything that I needed a supervisor or a paramedic for, unless I was like, hey, you should probably give them amio. They're in like wide rhythms right now. I don't know what it's called. Like at the time I was like, I don't know, but that rhythm does not look right. But it was really just VTAC with a pulse.
Right.
So I was like, grab your amio, please. Or like, hey, this patient, she's in a 3rd-degree heart block. You should probably pace her and pray about her.
Yeah.
Like she looked a little rough. But the fact that I didn't get any type of help, I didn't get like the sprint unit for our supervisor, I didn't get like another medic, I didn't get shit. And I had to look at these 2 helo teams and be like, I'm so sorry, I really didn't get anything for you. Here's your patients. Have a great day. Bye.
I mean, it works like that sometimes.
It does, but it had just happened so many times to where I got the shit end of the stick because of all of that. Because I wasn't his favorite, and that's cool. Man, what you see is what you get. Really, my attitude really doesn't change much, and I'm not a people pleaser either. And so I sent an email. I got to class. I was pissed. And my teacher was like talking to me because she was real cool. And I was ranting to her about it. And she's like, do you still like want to be a paramedic? And I was like, I absolutely want to be a paramedic. I was like, but fuck this company. I was like, I'm about to tell them I'm going part-time. I was like, as of today, if they don't accept it, fuck them. And then I applied to go work in the OR. And I worked.
Hell yeah.
And I worked in the OR. So, and because that was the first time I was like, I literally came home. Me and my husband, like, we were dating at the time. I like came back to him and I was like, I just quit. And he said, what? I said, I quit. I quit the company. Like I think I went part-time. No one's emailed me back. So I think I'm done. So
that works.
And he was just like, I don't think you're done. And I was just like, no, I'm done. I was like, I'm going to go be a tech in this OR. I'm going to learn things. I was like, I'm never stepping foot back on a truck again. I was like, whatever, screw this paramedic license. I'll figure out how to get in nursing school. Like I was so mad. I think all the things that night shift and just paramedic school, I was done. I was so done. That one call just showed me that like I was not important, that my patients were important, and that like something just so like it wasn't even the kid. The kid's so cute, love the kid, but just to have like someone say that, oh, I need to go do patient care and I'm not going to go run this call for people that are actively dying because you actually didn't want to run it because there was nothing wrong with your kid, nor did you need child care. Because what's crazy is that medic, I called her later on that day and I was just like, so why didn't you want to run that call? Like I was mad, I was heated at her, and I was like, so you didn't want to run it? Like what's going on? And she's like, what call? I said, the call that happened this morning at like 6 a.m. I was like, that call? And she said, Sammy, I never got woken up for that call. And I said, if I see your partner, I'm going to hit her. I'm going to hit her. I don't know what I'm going to hit her with, but I'm going to hit her. I was so mad. Because she caused so much commotion. It like, ugh. And I don't hate her or anything. It just made me so frustrated that you didn't care enough. But you still want to be in healthcare, but you didn't care enough. But I will never be like, oh, your kids are not important. No, go get your kid if you need anything. But it was just the matter of you lying because you didn't want to run a call. That's what I had.
One thing that gets me too. And that's one thing that gets me too is we need to support our own and make sure that if someone needs help in our field, help them. There's nothing wrong with a late call. It sucks. Don't get me wrong, but you gotta do it.
Like, and it was honestly great being an EMT because even if you got a late call, all you gotta do is wash and restock the truck and you're gone. You're like, whew. As a medic, you're sitting there like, I hate it here. I gotta do this stupid fucking chart and make sure I document everything. I was like, is my vitals uploaded? Oh, it's just, like you have a little bit more like responsibility. So like as a basic, you really got it made. I tell people all the time, like, are you sure you want like extra responsibilities? Are you sure? I was like, because stay
Sure,
where
you
you're
want
at
to
as
go down this
long
hole?
as you can.
Oh, that's like one of my old partners. He was a very he was one of the older medic guys, but he started coming to the newer medic mindset, and
Mm,
I got bored with the EMS. I didn't get bored with the EMS. I got pissed off at the company, and
mm,
I got an offer to go be a police officer for a little bit. So
mm.
this medic was like, "Hey, I'll help you train." Wait, what? So we'd go park in parking lots and randomly jump fences, and I mean, this dude's like 60 years old jumping fences with with a 30-year-old. I'm like, "Hey, this is cool," but
Okay, period. Pop off. Love that for him.
it was fun as hell. My wife made fun of me. She's like, "You made that old man jump with you?" I was like, "No, it was his idea."
No, you had to make sure you blamed it on him. That way, if anything was to come back, it was on him.
Yeah, exactly. The medic's in charge, not me.
Exactly. He told me to. And yes, I would jump off
And
a
then when I
bridge
got,
if he told me to.
oh yeah, yeah, me too. The funny thing is, he was so excited when I got my medic. He was actually being a dick at the same time. He's like, "You're running the calls now." Wait, what?
Who? Not me.
I don't know what
Oh,
you're talking about there, sir.
I
Uh,
know.
uh, you
Huh.
good?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's something else you wrote on your form, to where I put if someone's listening at 2 a.m. it's not, but you put it's always night shift.
Oh yeah, it's
So
always nice.
why'd you put that one? Why is it?
Because
You know what?
sometimes the day shifters they forget what it's like at night. You are cracked out for if you tell me, if anybody tells me that's listening, they tell me they're not 4 energy drinks deep, they're lying.
I don't
If not, they're popping an Adderall. Somebody's lying, and it's not me, because I got kidney stones from that. Okay, drink your water. But but yeah, it's always night shift. I grew up on night shift. I grew up on 24s and night shift. Like day shifters, I'm like, y'all are such weak hoes. Excuse my language, but y'all ain't doing nothing out here. The night shift is where it's at. You can't see anything. You're half blind. Everybody's blind actually on night shift. Everybody's probably got an astigmatism, so we can't see. And all everybody just wants to do crazy stuff at night. That's where all the fun stuff happens. That's where all the little trash pandas come from. So it's always night shift. You can't tell me anything other. That's where all the good
Because
ideas
all
come from is night
hard.
shift. Huh?
Because all throughout the day you're doing your normal shit, your normal
Yeah.
bullshit, and then
Huh?
when you finally lay down, you're like, oh shit.
I
That's
forgot
when
I
it
got a
gets
call. I forgot I got a
2
call.
a.m.
Now.
propane, you bastards.
No,
my toe hurt for 4 days, but sorry, it's really bad right now at 2 a.m.
Yeah,
I'm so serious. Like I love, my favorite patients are my frequent flyer patients, and people are like, why? They're like, I'm like, no, you still do your full assessment. Don't ever let your frequent flyers ever cast you astray. No. Do your full assessment. I'm big on 12 leads. My set of vitals is sometimes I do want a 12 lead. If they look a little weird, I'm like, 12 lead it. It'll be fine. It's just a couple extra stickies. I want a sugar, and I want to, like, the rest of your set of your little vitals. If I had good EMTs right now like I used to back home, they'd be doing manual sets of vitals. There ain't none of this put them on the monitor. No, but I can't trust them yet. We got to work on it. We're working. But I love them. They are my favorite. They already know what to expect from 'em. I'm already like, hey, I know you don't want that 4 lead, but it would just make me so happy if you would do that for me. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, perfect. And they're like, so and so was nice to you. And I'm like, yeah, so and so was always nice to me. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, they didn't try to fight you or anything or ask for payments. I'm like, no, they didn't ask for nothing. They just wanted a ride. Like I think back home where I'm from, my favorite one hated everybody. Everybody but me. He would throw his colostomy bag at people, rip that thing off, throw his throw it everywhere. Me, I'd be like, hey, so you want to go to this hospital or you want to go to this hospital? This one's not as on diversion as this one right now, but I do know that one's closer. So you just let me know. Let me put this little tarp down for you, because he had a bad like decubitus ulcer, like terrible. And I was like, and do you want another like warm little blanket? I think I have one saved for you. I would always keep a blanket for this one patient, no one else but them. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, perfect. What hospital? And he's so nice. I'm like, are you okay if I do this blood pressure? Like, I'm being so sweet. And my partner's like, I know she's so fake right now. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to clean up poop, really. I don't want him mad at me ever. I want to be the favorite one until this man, decides he wants to DC out.
Yeah.
And it
Very true.
was. And I'm telling you, I was a favorite. Frequent flyers love me because I'm like, I'm not mad at them. I don't care. I just want to know what are we calling for today, so I can jot that down. Make sure it's something serious so we can keep you there. I already know. I already know what we're doing. You want a sandwich? What kind? I'm prepared to advocate for you. I'm probably why we're going to deteriorate in EMS.
It's funny you said that. I actually had a dialysis patient I used to take back when I was advanced. I would take him every Wednesday. He was Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
And every time that poor man, he wanted food. He wanted food. So every time I was his favorite guy because I would stop and get a McDonald's in the morning. Like, here's a sausage biscuit. I know I'm not supposed to do this, but here's a sausage biscuit.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I found out his nursing home was starving him purposely because he was a dickhead. I'm like, oh, that's fucked up.
Bro, when I tell you, I would literally like call, what is it? It's not CPS, but it's
DHS.
what's the adult
Department
version?
of
Yeah,
Human
I was like, what's the adult version? Hold on. Yeah, no, I would call so heavily.
Yeah,
I've had to do
that
that
nursing
before.
home got investigated quite a few times because of me.
Good. Nah, we ain't about to play that game. I'm all for like if
Yeah,
I
I
have
found
like
out he actually.
oh, go ahead.
Yep. No, you're good. I found out he actually wound up dying from starvation in the end, which pissed me off. I left the company and found that out from an old partner of mine. I'm like, that's bullshit.
That sucks. And like his family, he probably didn't have none. I hate stuff like that. Like, yeah, like I said, I started as a CNA, and I could never imagine doing any of my patients like that. Like, we had the Golden Girls table. Like, I had so many like nice ones, and even if they're mean, sometimes I can't help it. Like, I'm never gonna get mad at you for that because you genuinely can't help something like that. Like, you're in their home. This isn't your job. This is their home. And I don't understand why people don't understand that. Like, not even a little bit.
Yeah, that I agree, and then the whole. I know how everyone hates IFTs. I know how everyone hates dialysis calls.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing about those is those turn you into the better provider
Yes.
because you're able to notice the slight differences. You're able to see, hold on a minute, that blood pressure was normal. Now it's going a little low. What's going on here?
Mhm.
Or oh, they're hypertensive. What's going on? And I actually liked it because I got to talk to the patients. I got to
Yeah. You learn how to
bullshit.
build a rapport. Yeah.
And that to me that was honestly the best part of that job. Doing those is to
Mm-hmm.
know the patient, to
Mm-hmm.
talk to the families, and hell, like you were saying earlier, Thanksgivings is. I worked for a county service, and we had a frequent flyer that every Thanksgiving she would invite us to Thanksgiving by calling 911. I'm like, okay, thanks.
Love that. I mean, it's like, don't do that, but like, love that. Ugh.
Yeah, it was fun, and I hated that they took away our 24s, but that's one of the reasons I left. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, nah, I get that when like leaving a service for like hours and stuff, and I also agree with the IFTs. I really wish that so many people shit on it so bad, and my husband, he likes hospital to hospital IFTs. He gets so depressed having to take somebody back home or back to a facility because it just hurts his feelings. Like, he's like, I already come and get them, so I already know what it's like, and to bring them back, I can't. And I'm the same way. If I see that their conditions are like terrible, guess what? Guess where we going? We're going right back, and we're about to figure it out. Because you got me messed up. If you're about to live in here with like roaches, absolutely not. We are not doing that. We're not playing that game. Um, but I really just wish people would stop glorifying the 911 side, because your 911 side, I mean, yeah, it's great, but on the off chance that you're actually getting all of these good calls, are less than none. You're not getting any actual patient care or patient advocacy from any of those calls, because you stop the bleeding, you give them a little fluid to keep it going round and round, you put air in them, and you mosey on. Those are easy.
Yep.
But like the IFTs and like those long distance like transports, those are when like your empathy comes into play, and learning how to like actually talk to your patients, figuring out, like you said, the blood pressure. Man, I just did this blood pressure twice on both arms. Let me do a manual. Let me see where some of my
Yep.
skills are coming into play. These fine tuned things. They look a little pale. Is it because like they're cold? Is it because they're like internally bleeding? Like what's happening? Like you're able to critically think more for those type of calls. I feel like so it gears you to that 911.
I agree, and I'm one of those assholes, I guess you could say too, that I think you should go into every level before you
Hmm.
become a paramedic.
I also agree.
And
I'm not a zero to hero advocate. You will miss me with that one. And I
yeah,
get so much
I've had a lot
grief
of
for it.
exactly. I get grief for it because they're like, "Oh, well, I'm a good EMT." Yeah, but do you know how to start a line? Do you really know what you're looking for?
Mhm. Are you a good EMT because like you know how to drive the ambulance and you can put on like on the monitor and things, or are you a good EMT because you're helping your partner say, "Hey, uh, I don't know about this medication," and you're like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, like let's look at some things, like helping see the bigger picture.
Yep, 100%. That is very true. Let me figure out what the heck I'm just doing real quick for this stupid computer. Sorry. uh, so I did want to appreciate you for coming on and being real about all this. Before we close out, I always want to ask one thing that I ask everybody. If someone's listening right now, alone, burnout, questioning everything, what do you want them to hear? Yep, very well said. And I know you're on social media and all that. If someone wanted to contact you or learn more about anything that you provide, or just want to reach out, would you be willing to provide that for anybody, or go ahead? Mine's not good. I gotcha. I'm gonna go ahead and hit end here in a second. If you think it's too heavy to say it anyway. It beats a eulogy. You don't have to apologize for surviving however you can. You're not the reason things are heavy. You're the reason they're still moving. Need support right now? Reach out to me. Reach out to somebody. Text or call 988 or visit 988lifeline.org. You're not alone. Not in this job. Not in this fight. Want to share your story or connect? Visit critical-run.com or message the Facebook page, Dispatched and Dysfunctional. We're building this for you, for them, for all of us.